Hi everyone, welcome to If My Mama Knew podcast. For those of you returning, welcome back. For those of you that are new, don't forget to check out our other episodes. I'm Minnie. Here's Cookie.
Hey.
Here's Gigi.
Hi.
And here's Cece.
Hi.
And today's topic is why the hell did I turn 18? Welcome to adulthood, or as I should say, welcome to hell. So I know a lot of people dream about turning 18, being an adult, getting all this freedom, but honestly, take it from four girls who have been in adulthood for God knows how long now. It is hell. Girls, I don't know. What do you girls think about turning 18?
Worst shit I ever did, to be honest with you. First of all, I turned 18 while I still was in high school. So in that sense, it was kind of like having a little bit more freedom. Obviously, at 18, I got my first job at Mickey D's. What? Worst job ever. I had shit thrown at me. But that's part of becoming an adult. So I turned 18 when I was in high school. And honestly, like I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing. One, for me, it was more freedom, 100%. Like I was able to go out more than again, not until like I actually graduated high school, but there was a lot more freedom. There was a lot more things that I got to do that I couldn't do because my mom was a little bit too much and overprotective and stuff. But I love turning 18. At the moment I turned 18, then adulthood came, and you gotta once you turn 18, Uncle. So honestly, once you start working, Uncle Sam's over there trying to take your freaking money with the taxes, which is a bunch of BS. And I feel like personally in high school, I feel like I wasn't taught shit or prepared mentally or physically or emotionally or financially for what the hell was gonna happen when I turned 18. Number one, credit. To me, the day I heard credit card, I thought I could waste a bunch of money and I would pay it back and there would be no issues about it. Now, take it from someone that's 27 years old and still trying to fix their credit. I wish I would have had a class on that in high school. Mind you, I probably wouldn't have paid attention, but at least I know what the hell I was doing with a credit card. So, first off, credit. I feel like I wasn't prepared financially. Emotionally, yeah, I mean, I had kind of had my drunken nights and all that stuff. But still, like, I feel like turning 18, if you tell me now if I'd rather be an adult or go back to my teen years, I'd probably tell you 100 times go back to my teen years. There's not that much responsibility. Honestly, I used to hate how much my mom would try to control me. But honestly, I miss that so much. Breaking the rules was fun. It really was, but still, it's crazy now how something that you did in your teen years could mean a whole different consequence as an adult. Some stupid thing I did as a teen, now I could go to jail for. Again, financial stability. My mom paid for everything until I was 18 and even a little while after that. Now, if I want to go somewhere, I gotta pay. If I want to do this, I gotta pay. If I want to do that, I gotta pay. Everything is money, money, money. If I want to take a shit, I gotta pay. I feel like I'm paying for everything. Being adult sucks balls. Obviously, in some sense, it is nice. You have more freedom, you have more this, you have more that. But if you told me tomorrow if I would go back to my high school days and probably enjoyed it a little bit more, oh my God, I would have. My teen days, I can't. Being an adult sucks balls. If it's not bills, it's Uncle Sam trying to take your money away. If it's not this, and I'm sorry, that's another thing, taxes. You work your ass off during the year. I expect to get a nice check back, right? Isn't that the whole point of them taking my taxes to give me my money back eventually? Them taxes are a bunch of BS. If I didn't have Obamacare or whatever care it's called now, they take your money away. These people be trying you, man. You work like a freaking dog as an adult and you ain't got shit. So honestly, just like you said, why the hell did I turn 18? I miss being a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old. And honestly, I feel like personally, I don't know about you ladies, I was very unprepared for what adulthood came with. What do y'all think?
I will agree with you in that situation. Like, none of us were prepared, like, mentally or like physically, because honestly, like, school doesn't teach us any of that at all. And I will have to agree and disagree with you. I'm like in the middle of the whole situation because not all kids had the privilege that you had. because of your mom and all of that. Like, let's just say some of us went through family harsh situations, and they're just like, I just want to grow up and earn my own money and everything, get my own stuff, being like spoil themselves. So you get me? Like I see the pros of being an adult, but I also see the cons of being an adult, because compared to me, I wish I didn't have to pay rent. Right? That would have been nice, not paying no rent, because that's what I'm not used to paying. But let's just say I wanted to be an adult, earn my money just to get myself like something I want, like do my nails, my hair, buy some clothes, some shoes, all of that. Me wouldn't been able to do that when we were younger. Spoil all that money, like how like we got computers now, we got like console games and all of that. Like I was like I appreciate that I'm earning money, but at the same time I kind of like, once you turn 18, you go to the real world. We don't know nothing. We don't know about credit. We don't know about buying a house. We don't know um how everything works, a car, or like, a rent. We don't know on any of these. Like, imagine somebody who's trying to like a kid like wants to go to travel to like outside of the US, and they don't even know how to like get a passport. You get me? Like, a lot of things have changed over the years. And I think in this generation now, they have more chances than what we did. Because I don't know, because in my family, I'm like the first generation of like US citizen. Now, if you're like, and then later if I have kids, then they don't need to worry about credit score, cars, or anything, because I'm going to teach them that. Because if we didn't know, we're going to teach them how to do it, and they're going to know. You get me? And so I feel like sooner or later the generations is just going to get better and better. But right, like our generation, where our parents are not like, yeah, Cece.
I was getting to that. I think, like you said, our parents as Hispanics, they're not well rounded and they're not prepared and they don't know the knowledge behind anything since they're from other countries. That's a number one. Our parents didn't teach us. My parents didn't teach me. My dad, the only thing that he taught me was, save money, work for it. And when you do have it, don't be stupid and don't overspend what you can't have, basically. You get me? And I learned about credit at a young age, 17, 16, thanks to my brother-in-law. He's white. He won't pass all that. His parents saw him, but he messed up his credit. So after a while, he built it up and fixed it. And then when I started my credit, I started thanks to him. He put me under his name, under his credit cards. And by that time, I already turned 18. My credit was like, really good. And I always, I'm buying something, pay it off and things like that, since it was his credit card. But like Gigi said, sometimes you just don't think once you're 18 and you're like, oh shit, I got money, I got credit, I have this amount of money. Let me just go the extra mile. At the end of the day, I'm gonna pay it. And that's when sometimes as a teenager, because you're still, young, you don't think about it. I didn't thought about it at a certain point. So I did overspend, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna pay it off. And I was able to pay it off right there, but it's like, it's only the minimum, or it's only $50, 100, 500. You like, let me keep the cash and just pay the minimum and keep doing that. And that's when the interest comes in. And that's when you don't think, you keep ranking those credit card up. And it's like, oh shit. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, I should have paid it off sooner. I would have saved this amount of interest. So that's the little things that now as an adult, now I know, but I did went a little bit crazy once I turned 18, having a credit card that was 10K by 20. It's like, shit, I have that. I could spend, that I went crazy for a bit, and then I didn't think about the interest. I was like, oh, you technically my thought was I spent 500, I'm gonna pay that 500. I forgot about the interest. I forgot about how it builds up and everything. Once months pass until I saw like, oh shit, that shit's not going down, and I'm like, oh, I'm paying this amount of interest on the credit card. So that's the only thing. But like you said, parents don't they don't know about it. So us now learning, knowing is gonna be a different story, because we know to have credit, you gotta either take care of it, keep it up, and at the same time, to build it, you gotta have someone that teaches you, or you're under their name, to be able to have a decent amount of credit or a well credit by the time you turn 18. That's what happened to me, at least.
Bitch, I want to know what the fuck did you spend 10K on by the time you were 18? Like, how the fuck? Like, I know you had your brother-in-law. How does he allow you to get 10K of credit? Like, I'm just like in shock right now.
No, I didn't spend the 10K in credit. By the time I was 20, I had available 10K in credit. But I did one by myself. That was my own credit card by the time I already hit like 20 or 19. So knowing I had that amount, I did spend probably like 3K in less than 2 months. So
You see, you're lucky you had your brother-in-law, because I had to work my ass off.
that's what I'm saying. It depends. Like that's why, like I said, like my shit, it's different because I did have my brother-in-law. But knowing my parents were mostly cash persons. Like just save up, credit, your debit card, save up, save up, save up. That's the only thing. They weren't much about credit because they didn't know how it functioned, how it worked, and the only thing they thought was like, oh, you get credit, you're gonna either mess it up, ruin it, or you don't know how to use it properly. So that's the only thing. Like I said, I'm grateful for that part that I had my brother-in-law, because he taught me in a young age. By the time I wanted my own car, I could do it without any cosign, anybody. I got my own car under my name, by myself. So that's the only thing I'm grateful for. Yeah, other than that, like Gigi said, I didn't have to pay rent. I was spoiled, to a certain point. If I wanted something, I just had to say it. And and things like that, until I started working. After that, it was like all on me, and it was like, okay, realizing, oh, I gotta pay this, I gotta keep up with car insurance, with car payments, with paying the rent, paying credit cards, paying this, paying that. So just having that motion at first is like, it's overwhelming, because everything comes at once. So even though they try to teach you what they can, it's just not. I don't know. I think Hispanics are wrong in a lot of aspects. Just they don't see more than what they're living for. They don't see like, oh, I can probably give them a different route. They gotta learn about their credit, their their things, figure different things out.
That's the situation there, because as like I said, we're the first gens. We're the first generation, you get me? But like our parents just came out. So I don't want to say that it's all Hispanics. I want to say that it's most of the time is usually either Hispanics or African Americans that go through that. But that's because we're not I don't want to say not well educated, but it's more of like they don't know anything about this country. You get me? But this is where like being an adult is so much harder, because by the time you learn how to do it, you're just like, oh my god, why was I not be taught by that? Why didn't they teach me this? And that's the part where like we're all like, oh, we can't like get mad at them, because in their country they don't have this. I don't
But
think so.
even though, bro, like the school system should have some shit. Because I mean, I think we did have something similar, and I don't know, there was a class with a bald guy. I paid attention like half the time. pretty sure he talked about credit at one point, but then the rest of the time it was a bunch of like political stuff, so I wasn't really paying attention. But I feel like in high school they don't get you ready for things. Like, sure, I need to learn that x squared plus y. What was that stupid formula shit for the triangle?
If you're talking about the Pythagorean theorems,
That crap.
it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But we did have a mandatory class freshman year that covered credit and how to budget and how to do things.
Freshman year.
Yeah, it was freshman year. So this is
What
what
the
I
hell was
think.
it called?
I don't
When?
remember what it's called, but I remember taking it. So I remember I didn't pay attention much, but I just think they
I don't think I was given that class.
Me neither. I'm so confused right now. I'm like, when did you
The
take
only
this
thing
class?
I had was world history, I think, freshman year, with the guy that taught water polo. But I do not remember having a class. And then that weird English skinny lady that was really creepy and made us weird word poems. But I do not remember having a class where I was taught about credit. Then
I agree with her.
I remember because I had a friend in this class and I remember like all the class, but I just think they were targeting the wrong class. I think it should have been a junior or senior level class rather than a freshman class because when you're a freshman, you just got to high school. You're thinking, "Oh, I'm badass now. I'm in high school. I could do whatever I want." And you're not in the right state of mind. I think it should have been a senior class when you're getting ready to enter the real world, whether it's college or whether it's the workforce. I mean, I know all of us entered the workforce right after high school or even during high school. And then, yeah, some of us took the college route. But I just think that the system is flawed, definitely. It is definitely flawed in the minority sense, leaning towards minorities. So there are a lot of rules that prevent minorities, a lot of loopholes that prevent minorities from understanding credit, from getting loans, from getting everything that is accessible. And it's just about learning either through experience or learning through word of mouth. At work, I have a really young coworker and I'm teaching her these things. She's only 20 years old. I'm like, look, you got to do this, this, and this. This is how credit works. This is how you pay off your credit cards. And she's like, thank you, because I have no idea how any of this works. Nobody taught me this. I'm like, I know. And so I'm looking out for you, just like how no one looked out for me. And these are things I learned through experience, but I want you to learn the easy way, not the hard way. Yeah, Cookie?
I will have to agree with you with that. A lot of, well, once it's different because in high school we had mechanics, right? And I have this kid here and he's like 19 and he's like, something's wrong with my car. And I told him, dude, I think it's your battery. And he's like, oh, now I have to spend $500. I'm like, where are you paying these $500 from, dude? Like, I'm so confused. He's like, are you getting like, does your battery have warranty? Did you check this? Huh? Like, I've asked him these questions and he's like, oh, I didn't know that that's how it works. And I'm like, I got questions. Like I'm questioning his life. I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure you should have had a mechanic in your school. But once again, not every school has that privilege to have mechanics class. Now, and I only knew this because of freshman year. But that's what I'm saying, man. They don't prepare these kids at all. And he's like 19 years old. So he's not like 28, nothing. I'm like, he's literally 19. And just like how you said, you have a coworker and she doesn't know anything about credit. And I'm just like, why do they keep us in this? Why do they keep these young kids? Because we were young, and I want to say our young selves, why would they keep us in a circle like that? Yeah.
But this is where I think where the new generations coming up have a lot of advantages. I mean, with the invention of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, all these little videos, like the internet, it's really helpful because now whenever you have a question, you have a doubt, you just Google it and there'll be 1,000 videos on what to do on how to do it properly. Something that we didn't have. So we learned literally the hard way. I mean, we had Google still, but now there's videos, people explaining it easier than having to read through all these articles. I mean, so I do think we are coming together better to give advice to the younger generations. How to apply for a mortgage, how to do credit cards, what to do when your car starts making a weird sound. I mean, these are things that now we know, oh, this is basic knowledge, but for kids coming out into adulthood, it's something like out of this world for them. And it's like, it's a lot to take in. But with the internet now, I think it's more accessible. Yeah, Gigi?
Oh my god, now that you say that shit about the noises your car makes. I remember I used to call your ass and I used to be like, my car is twerking right now. What the hell does that do? What am I supposed to do? Because you had that little mechanic friend of yours, or it would start growling at me, and I was like, what is this? What the hell did I do to you? And then you sound like a crazy person because you, first of all, you have no idea what the hell you're doing. I think I learned how to drive a car at 18. I literally grabbed this guy's car. He's like, you want me to teach you? I'm like, yeah, sure. I crashed it into a rock. It was a little dent. It wasn't that bad. But still, you have this contraption that you barely know how to use, right? Like, I know how to use my turn signals. I know how to use my wipers. Do not ask me to change my oil. Do not ask me to do any fancy thing with my car. I know that when my car won't turn on, it's probably the battery, right? You have like these things, and it's like, you hear like, what the hell did I do to this car? It's growling, it's kicking, it's twerking, and you're in the light, and you're there like on a freaking roller coaster, and you're like, oh my god, am I going to get home? And it's like, there's so many things I wish I would have been more prepared for before I left that teen, like right when I turned 18. Like you said, a car, a mortgage, credit, how the hell, what the hell I do with my car when it starts making weird noises, how whatever it is, advanced auto parts, what the one that checks your batteries and doesn't charge you a thing. You see, simple things like that I wish I would have learned. I'm still trying to debate what freaking class you told me I take freshman year that talked to me about all this junk, because I don't remember that class at all. All I remember was PE. I was forced to take chess, and I don't remember any class that taught me about economics or whatever you were talking about. I don't know what type of school you went to that year, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't at my school. You must have been to some white hillbilly school.
She went to our school, bro.
Well, I don't know, because she was always moving all over the place. She might have missed a week there, and she took that class for a week somewhere else, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't at my school where I was offered that class.
Look, I know I went to 13 schools, but I remember what I learned in each one. And it was in our school freshman year, and it was half a semester. It wasn't even a full semester, it was half a semester of this course.
So you're talking about the water polo dude that we took half of freaking world history, that France was in war with Spain, or I don't know who the hell, and they were mad at him. There was some short guy. I don't remember. I don't remember any of
He
that stuff.
taught world history, but no, it wasn't that. It was a different class.
Well, the point is, I wasn't part of this class. I was probably forced to take chess at this time.
Remember, we didn't have her in much of our classes. We knew of each other because we had certain classes, but we only had in common with mini PE. Then you and I had computer class and English with
Oh
the
shit,
lady
wasn't it that computer class?
that I don't remember.
I don't remember. We used to like be beating up people, so I don't think I was paying attention there.
Yeah,
The
that's
point is, I
where
did not
it's at
remember that
some
class,
point.
and I was very unprepared for when I turned 18. That's the point. I'm gonna keep debating in my head what freaking class we're talking about later on in my life, and when it
Yeah.
comes back to me, we will have this discussion. But all I'm saying is that I wish anyone would have prepared me better, like white people prepare their kids for
Yeah.
what comes, like the training that Cece had with the credit card and that 10K, because that would have been very nice to spend while I was 18. But thank God they didn't give me that much. They didn't trust me with that much. I'm still in debt, but thank God they didn't trust me with that much. My point is this: I feel like for example, I'm gonna give this example right now. My sisters just turned 18, right? They just left high school, and my sister is in between that thing where my mom still pays for some of her stuff, but then she wants to do more stuff, and she gets mad when my mom doesn't want to pay for it. right? So that there's a certain sense of freedom as well when you turn 18, right? Oh, I got a job, I can pay for my own stuff, I can do this, I can do that. And then that's another thing. I wish someone would have told me about the magical word of saving and investing. Because if I would have invested when I actually had money working at Mickey D's, which was the crappiest job of my life, but they actually paid me good, instead of trying to take a trip every month with all of y'all and get drunk, then maybe I'd be living in a mansion right now. But it's like, I mean, there you hear it, saving, and now there's all this other junk, the Bitcoin, I don't know about them. There's Bitcoin. What else is there, Minnie? I don't know about them.
It's cryptocurrency.
They're that crap. Like, I don't think that existed when we turned 18, correct? Okay. But the point is that there's so many things I could have invested my money in better. And I feel like I'm quoting our old boss, Minnie, and his 30,000 speeches, every single check about investing and stocks and bonds and hokey pokey and the rest of the stuff I didn't pay attention to.
But
We did have
that's the
stocks
thing.
though. We didn't have like no, because she was talking about like all these little other things, but we did have stocks to like invest.
No,
Yeah,
stocks,
but I
yeah,
didn't know what
but
the hell a stock was. I thought it was stocking. What the hell a stock was, girl? Invest in a stock? The fuck? I don't want no media. I don't wear no medias. So old people wear when they ain't trying to see their legs. Sorry, Minnie. What were you saying?
I was trying to say that, yeah, stocks have always been around. I mean, you have the Wall Street, but what we're trying to say is that this, I would say this knowledge of how stocks work, like I can't even invest in the stock market right now because I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what's up. I don't know what happens when they fall. I don't know when to sell, when to buy, price per share. I don't know if it's expensive. And then you need to know how that, affects your taxes because you're investing and you'll get money back, and that's a return, that's an income. So you have to be knowledgeable on all these things. So again, to this day I have no idea how any of that works, so I'm not going to get involved. Now if somebody were to teach me and do like the dummies version, by all means, and maybe I'll get into it, but I'm not gonna go in blind and invest money and lose out of it. Now I do know there are like portfolios that do the hard work for you, but again, I got no money. I just bought a house. I'm renovating it. I am a broke bitch at this moment. And another thing, somebody needs to teach you about taxes because I had to learn how to do my own taxes because I was like, I'm not paying $200 for someone to do my own taxes. No, like I refuse. That's taking away all my return money. Like, no. But yeah, so I do think that there are better ways that could be taught these things to younger people or just people in general, because again, we are first generation Americans. Our parents don't know anything about this. I mean, my mom's freaking out when I tell her I have 10 credit cards. She's like, why do you have so many? I'm like, because you need credit in this country. Like, as much as you don't want to have a credit card, you have to have credit in order to buy a car, in order to buy a house, in order to do anything. And that's something that's not taught until you actually get into it.
But you also know that having a lot of credit cards still hurts your credit. It's better to have a couple credit cards, real credit cards. I'm not talking stores, because stores credit is completely different than a credit card. So as long as you have a couple credit cards that are well rounded, for like I said, for example, like the first one I got was only 2K, literally 2K. Then the second credit card I applied was my 10K credit card. I paid off the 2K. I stopped using it. That shit never went up. I started using the 10K, paid it off, went to 13K. Then paid it off again, and it went to 16K. So as long as you know which credit card to apply, it's better, because at the end of the day, you could apply to another one, and instead of having a lower credit limit, you can have another one with probably $17,000 to $25,000 as a credit line. So if you have multiple little ones that are 5, 10, like little things like that, and you have more, like you said, 10, it still hurts your credit. It still hurts your credit because they're more.
I know how it works. I'm just saying that you have to have different, like, what was explained to me is that when I had limited credit, I had two credit cards that were good standing, the balances were low, but they're like, you have limited credit because you don't have enough revolving credit. So that's when you do your research and you have to have multiple lines of credit, not just one or two. So credit is a lot of factors. It's what's your credit limit? How long have you had it? Your payment history, how many lines of credit? So it's different things that you have to take into account. And that's what makes up this lovely number called your credit score. Yeah, Cookie?
I have a question for you guys. Just so like the younger kids know. When did you guys when did you guys get your first credit card? Cece don't have to tell us because we already know when she got her first, right? But what about you, Minnie, and you, Gigi?
I got mine at, I would say 18, close to 19. No, 18. My sister was like, you need to get a credit card. I was like, okay. So she helped me fill out the application because I didn't know how to fill it out. And I ended up getting my first credit card. Did I use it wisely? Yeah, I would say I used it wisely. And it's actually been the credit card that I've had the longest. I haven't closed it and it's good standing and it's the one who's helped me out a lot. So my other credit cards don't ask me about.
I think I got mine when I was 18. Unlike Minnie, did I use it wisely? Hell no. I bought everything you could possibly buy on that thing. Victoria's Secret, semi-annual sale every single year, twice a year, whenever the heck the semi-annual stuff happens. I would spend so much money. I think my first card was a Victoria's Secret. No, wait, it was a Discover. Just kidding. That was my first one. And did I use it wisely? No. Am I still paying it off? Yes. And again, I'm in major debt because, of course, I didn't know what the hell credit card was. I didn't know what interest rate was. I just thought it was money that I was going to have to pay eventually. And honestly, eventually to me was like, whatever. One day I'll pay it. No rush. And what did I do? I went on trips. I used to care about what Jordans I wore or whatever the hell the shoes were. So I used to buy the expensive Jordans with them. Was I responsible with my money? Hell no. Do I regret spending as much as I did? Hell yeah, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, you're just a number. If your credit score is low, forget it that you get approved for cars, for houses, for this, for that, and it's freaking annoying. And if Uncle Sam wants to, he can take all your money from your taxes to pay those credit cards. So no, thank you. So no, I was not smart with it.
The reason why I'm asking this because not everybody starts that young. And the reason I'm saying it is because you guys started early because I was afraid of credit cards. I was scared of going on debt. So imagine somebody brand new who's learning how to about it and then they're like, oh, I don't want to be in debt. I just want to tell you, those who have the same mindset as I do, don't do that. Because compared to me, I started what? I'm at 20. I started at 24. And my thing here is that I had a lot of savings and, I was able to spend money with my money that I earned for my job and I didn't have to worry about that. But I didn't have no credit score. So when I started, at least I had like two people in my life that and taught me how these things work and reassured me that, hey, this is the right way and this is the right way you want to do it. I will have to say I'm in no debt except for like my car. And that's because, of course, with cars, everybody finance unless you got that money, or like you can pay off your car, then yo, I give you props. But
or you get
me,
one of the twerking cars that you don't
what?
or you get one of the twerking cars that you pay up front. They're like $1,500, and on every red light, you're over there twerking.
Okay, that too.
I
That
swear
too.
we had the most fun experience with our first cars. I think Gigi and I both ended up buying cars like off the street and we're like, we're gonna learn to drive because nobody wanted to teach us how to drive. And so here we are, we're like, we're gonna learn to drive. We're gonna buy our own cars and nobody's gonna tell us, no, you can't drive because it's my car. I remember I went driving for a year without my license. And I was just driving in the streets. Like I had my permit. And then I was finally like, you know what? Let me just get my license because I finally learned how to drive.
All right, but a permit is a bootlegged license. Come on, that doesn't even count. That's like, here you go, good luck, don't kill anyone.
Your sister didn't want to teach you. She taught me.
No, she was like, no, you're not driving my Mustang. And I was like, I can't even see over the
Oh,
dashboard of your Mustang.
so
So
didn't we drive the van though? Like,
yeah, no, I didn't want to hurt the van. That was the family car.
yeah, but it's so confusing to me because okay, so your sister taught me some of the driving, but then later, you guys remember Carlos, right? He most of the time taught me how to drive, so I didn't have that issue. Um, but again, I started super late. I didn't get my license until I was like 21. So I'm just like, I want to be a passenger for the rest of my life.
Bro, all I remember is that I paid for 2 classes for someone like an instructor for someone to teach me how to drive. I just need you to tell me how to go, how to stop, how to turn left, how to turn right, and how to park. So those were the 2 classes I took. I spent like $200. And after that, I was like, okay, I learned the basics. Now I'm gonna learn this on my own. Because if I don't do this, then no one's gonna teach me. But yeah, so those are the things that as a teenager or a young adult that you if you don't have the support system, you kind of have to push yourself. Because I was like, I am so tired of riding the bus. I was taking 2 buses and the Metro Mover and walking to get to work. And I was like, I'm so over this. So definitely, I think if you have that support system growing up, kudos to you. If you don't worry. I know your struggle. We've been there, done that. So yeah, I mean, learn all that you can. My advice to anyone who is growing up, trying to transition into adulthood, learn as much as you can. Ask questions. If you have someone knowledgeable, older, who is trustworthy, and I say the word trustworthy because not every adult knows what they're doing. Okay? Find someone who knows what they're doing, who has their shit down, who got their shit together, and ask them questions. Or not, there is Google. I mean, the other day I was having car issues. I went to Google and there was 10 videos of a dad who was like, this is what you do. And I was like, I wish I had someone in my life to do this, to help me do this. So the researchers are out there. Ask questions, get informed, do your research. That is my advice. Do you girls want to add anything?
Enjoy your freaking childhood. Enjoy your teen years. Because trust me, the moment you hit adulthood, you're going to hit it running. One day you're going to be walking down that high school stage. The next day you're going to be walking in to do your taxes. And it sucks. So enjoy. Don't try to run out of your teen years. I know we all want to be adults when we're teens, but trust me, adulting sucks.
Read a lot of books. There's a bunch of books for dummies. Like honestly, like even myself, like there's moments where I don't know how to do something, and I try to like figure it out, read like directions, the manual, whatever it is that you need to do so you can get it the right way. Because most of the time we don't not all of us know what to do. So it's okay not to know, and it's okay to learn it, and it's okay to like educate yourself in a proper way. Nowadays there's a bunch of YouTube videos that show you a step one by one and explain to you what all these things mean. That's my advice. Just try to do your best, because most of the time it can get hard and sometimes it can get really easy.
Cece, you want to add anything?
I mean, a part of everything that you guys said is just try not to grow up too fast. Because there's a certain point that you hit as a teenager that I think we all gone through it. We went through it, that it was like, I wanna just jump into an adulthood and do my own thing. Like, not to give any like, como te digo, como tell parents, like, for example, I'm going here, I'm going there, or like little things that that as a kid it kind of like annoys you because they're always checking up on you, but that's part of life. Just if they're talking to you and trying to know where you are, just take it for the moment that you do have it, because at the end of the day, they're gonna get older, some things happens, they might not be there the next day or in a couple of years. Be kids, be teenagers, just don't go crazy once you hit 18 or you have those actual papers that or little plastic things that tell you this is your credit line, this is your number. Like everybody said, there's things to put your number higher, um, inform yourself, but at the same time, just try to take it step by step and don't rush anything. At the end of the day, to be adults, we have a lifetime. To be kids and teenagers is just a couple of years.
Always be a kid at heart. I believe in that motto, and that's why everyone calls me childish. But I do believe that you have to be a child at heart always. This world is too hard, it's too cruel, it's too demeaning. So just stay happy, stay true to yourself, and keep on with that spirit.
Bitch,
Yeah.
no one calls you a child. You were the most responsible out of all of us. Get the fuck out of here. You were worrying about your taxes by the time you were 14. Get out of here with your childness. Go, but bye. Okay, everyone called you a child. Do you adore weird childish things? Yes, I agree 100%. But you, the childish, you were the most responsible out of all of us. So I don't know what you talking about. Who the hell called you a child?
Well, some of Cece's friends called me childish, or called us childish. And I was like, I'm happy. Well, yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. Moral of the story, enjoy your childhood. Adulthood is hard. For those of you who have tough lives, don't worry, it gets better. Get help if you need help. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on this episode of If My Mama Knew. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can stream our podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google, Pandora, and YouTube. I'm Minnie signing us off. This is Cookie.
Bye.
This is Gigi.
Bye.
And this is Cece.
Bye.
Bye, guys.